Donald Trump. Where do I even begin? This guy is everywhere. Every time you think you've heard the last of him, he's back in the news, saying something bizarre or stirring up controversy. How can one person have so much noise around them all the time? I mean, he's like this never-ending, real-life reality show villain who just won't leave the stage. First, let's talk about his leadership style, if you can even call it that. It's like he runs on drama 24/7. From Twitter feuds, to constantly attacking anyone who disagrees with him. I may not be a political type of guy, but politics shouldn't be a show, yet he's out here making headlines over the smallest things, from his golf habits to his wild conspiracy theories. And don't get me started on his press conferences. It's like watching a train wreck, you don't want to look, but you can't look away. Then there are his policies, or lack of coherent ones. Policies that actually help people? Apparently, that's optional. We're talking about separating families at the border, denying climate change, and downplaying a pandemic. There's never a clear strategy, just whatever will make the loudest splash, regardless of how it impacts actual people. And can we address the bizarre fan base he's cultivated? It's like his supporters are in a trance. They hang on his every word, even when it's totally contradictory or based on nothing. He'll say one thing on Monday, say the opposite on Tuesday, and somehow both statements will be cheered like they're gospel. People follow him like he's some kind of celebrity more than a politician, as if facts don't even matter. And then we get to his social media. Oh my God. The things he says are just baffling. It's like he uses Twitter as his own personal diary, a diary everyone in the world is forced to read. The petty arguments, the blatant misinformation, the name-calling. It's embarrassing. A world leader should be, I don't know, mature? But he's on there like a teenager in a comment war. How is this guy supposed to represent his country? And don't even get me started on the border wall between the US and Mexico. Trump practically made that wall the centerpiece of his entire platform. Build the wall. And make America great again. Are like chants at every rally, the solution to every problem in his eyes. But did it actually make sense? Did it work? No. It was more of a symbol than a solution. Billions of dollars and years of division, just to build a few 100 miles of wall in spots where it was easiest, not even where it was most necessary. And get this, he kept promising that Mexico would pay for it. Mexico, he said, would write America a check for a massive border wall. Spoiler alert, that didn't happen. Instead, the taxpayers footed the bill for a project that didn't even finish. The reality is that most undocumented immigration happens through legal points of entry or by overstaying visas, not by trekking across the desert to scale a wall. The wall became this political prop, a monument to his ego and his tough-on-immigration image. But did it actually address the complexities of immigration or improve relations with the United States' southern neighbors? No. It just fueled resentment, created more division, and completely ignored the real issues at hand, like the need for comprehensive immigration reform, border security technology, or addressing the causes of migration in the first place. And then we get to him against Kamala Harris in the 2024 US presidential election. And let me just say, the 2024 US presidential election results was just baffling. The fact that Donald Trump managed to win again, this time against Kamala Harris, has left people across the political spectrum stunned, exasperated, and wondering what just happened. After all the controversies, the investigations, and the headlines, Trump somehow turned every obstacle into an advantage, pulling off a victory that many thought was impossible. And yet, there he is, holding the keys to the White House's Oval Office again. Kamala Harris fought hard, trying to represent a more progressive, inclusive future and rallying the coalition that got her and Biden elected in the first place. But somewhere along the line, her campaign couldn't close the deal with those key swing voters, or maybe they just didn't show up in the numbers they needed. Voters seem to have overlooked Trump's controversies, or perhaps found reasons to double down on him instead. His strategy of firing up his base and amplifying his populist message clearly resonated, making this win one of the most divisive in recent memory. The real question now is what this means for the United States. With Trump back, we're looking at a return to his crappy policies and governance style. His win suggests that a substantial chunk of America still resonates with his vision, even after everything we've seen over the last few years. Whether you're cheering or pissed off, like I am, it's clear this result marks a major turning point for the US. Honestly, at this point, I'm just tired. Exhausted, even. Every headline, every press release, every time he pops up on TV, it's just a reminder of how chaotic and frustrating things have been. When can America go back to just regular politics? You know, where things happen behind closed doors, where politicians actually do their jobs instead of creating a media circus.